Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'm Sargel18. Episode 51 of Unchained. Straight talk and answers in why I do this, in Heaven's Law, and I'm going to have new evidence photos that I took at the Vortex back in 98 to show you, and that I think no one's seen, so that'll be cool. I'm just getting over all my giddiness from the inauguration and Trump taking office. I really feel that for the next 2 years, the sun's going to shine bright on humanity. So I hope you do everything well with it. Now, every 10 and 20 videos, I feel I have to make a video like this, one that informs and educates the public on just who I am, and why I'm here, and why I make these videos, without asking anything in return. This is mainly for the newer people that are tuning in, and also for the ones who have been following me the last 30 years. To be able to do these videos, I have to be laser focused. No interruptions. No interference, on a micro as well as a macro level. On a personal mission level, Devron, the hand of God, has given me the last task I'm to accomplish here before going back to heaven and the Silver City. I cannot tell you what this is, what they want me to do, but I will say it will benefit humankind for years to come. On a personal note, what Devron has asked me to do, to me, as I see it, is impossible for one soul, no matter how unique and special, to accomplish. So I believe doing these videos and trying to inform humanity of what was, what is, and what's to come, leading up to Jesus' return in 2037, is part of the foundation of what I have to do. I hope I'm correct. Now first, Sargel18 means Sergeant of Light. L means Heaven's Soul. And the 18 stands for the 18 souls that are part of a group of souls that have reached heaven and are part of the heavenly host, like myself. We're part of the heaven's military. That's one of the aspects that I do in heaven and what I do here. Military slanted souls that reincarnate during major events designed by heaven to help and guide humanity, like in this revelation. The government has been well aware of me coming back and used certain experiments and guided events such as the Montauk Project and the USS Eldridge in October 1943 in the Philadelphia harbor. That experiment made the whole ship disappear, hence artificially opening the doorway in the multiverse and allowing the 18 souls to come in and reincarnate. I've worked with these projects from 1966 and in 1996 left to complete my mission. Here, starting with the opening of the doorway and making contact, and at the same time starting this Earth's revelation process, biblical revelation process. My classification is far above top secret, and everything about me is under SCI, sensitive compartmental information. But one thing that they know is that I can't be controlled. And since I can't be controlled, they let me reveal facts about myself and why I'm here. As my government contacts have said many times, tell them whatever you want. They're not going to believe you, even with all the evidence and discoveries. And they were right. It was really hard to put this out. But the tides have turned, and they and humanity are going to need souls like myself more than they thought. One thing about any soul from heaven that comes back, in our own right, we are some of the most powerful souls alive on the planet at this time, and are to be held in respect by the governing bodies of humanity. Better to respect than to piss off the wrong soul. That's what I say. Now, nothing comes between me and why I'm here. I've shut myself off from anything that takes away from my focus. And since I was granted mounds of esoteric knowledge during my near-death experience, and in knowing these immutable laws, I can't physically be around people or act in any way that people in general think I should act. Case in point, because of my 6 conjuncting Scorpio planets in my natal planets, I am incredibly psychic and empathetic. I feel as well as see. And when I awoke in 1988, it took 2 years to align, and then in 1990 I decided to help humanity, so I started giving psychic readings to people. I figured it was a way to give back. Well, news about me caught on fast, and by 1995 I had given thousands of readings, each time doing my best to help for those 5 years, and I did it all for free. I asked no money for my readings or anything. No money. I was so good that people started throwing money at me, begging me to take it. I did find a way out of that situation. I guess you could call it a workaround. I started telling people that wouldn't take no for an answer to donate the money in my name to local animal shelters. And I have a big thing for helping animals, so. And that worked. At least I think it did. I started charging for readings after that, and people just wouldn't stop coming. I kept raising the price of my readings in hopes that they would stop coming. $100, $200, $300, and finally $400 for 1 hour reading. Which was worth it if you ask me, because I'm an exceptionally fantastic reader. But they still kept coming, and I felt more and more like I was more of an entertainer. And for me, that wanton desire fell out to do this. So I stopped in 2000 and never went back. My fame was nationwide in this field, and if I'm going to drop names, I went to Hollywood and read for the actors from the movies The Shawshank Redemption, Field of Dreams, and in the 1996 movie starring Nicolas Cage, Con Air. In that one, I was right in the airplane where the prisoners were in the movie, reading away for people. It was pretty cool. And that plane that you see in that movie, in Con Air, it looks normal. But when I got to the set, it was only like a small trailer size thing. And you went inside and it looked like an airplane. And they had these arms and stuff to make the plane shift as it was flying and things like that. It was pretty cool, and I had a fun time doing it, and I helped out a number of actors, which are still acting, I believe, to today. I haven't followed up on it. Okay, so what changed with the new information or heaven's laws after I came back from death? God granted beings much more than is understood, human beings much more than is understood by them. Mainly through Lucifer's manipulation, this info has been hidden from people's knowledge, and over the past 2,000 years has been forgotten. For this video, I'm talking about psychic abilities. Every human being is psychic, everyone, except for a few standouts through the ages, like myself and as I was as the Witch of Endor. People in general flock to these roadside psychics because they want answers and they believe they can't get the answers themselves. Lucifer did this to keep people in line, and it worked. It worked fine. For he couldn't have people realize that they could see and experience heaven's true involvement on earth and make rational decisions, plus keep their souls. They won't lose their souls. So he blocked all that. Now, here's the kick in the ass. God granted everyone psychic abilities. So no one, no one would have to go to another person for psychic stuff ever. But since Lucifer perverted the whole deal, psychics rose out of the ashes of civilized humanity, and that's where heaven's law was broken. One thing that heaven doesn't like is manipulation, whether on purpose or by accident. But since God gave us all the ability and free will to handle anything ourselves, if you give the free will to someone else, like a psychic reader, you are creating a sin in the eyes of heaven. As for the readings I gave for all those years, I am just as guilty as anyone else. I didn't understand or even know of the law at that time. A psychic reader or astrologer can tell you something that can change the path or destiny, and that's not allowed. That's where the law is broken. Actually, it's an efficiency reality. Why have to do it twice when you can do it once? Now, case in point with myself. A young mother of 2 came for me for a reading. As soon as I saw her, I saw her driving her car with her kids down a hill in like a big town or city setting, and then I saw a small red car coming on her right and stopped, and then her light was green and she went forward and was hit on the driver's side by a speeding truck, and both her and her kids were killed. I impressed it upon her to keep an eye out for this situation. After she left a few hours later, she called me all shook up. Apparently, she was on her way home from this reading after we met, and not realizing at first, she came down a hill to a red light. She all of a sudden remembered what I said and looked right, and there was a small, bright red car. All this shit's real. I've done this all the time. Stopped at his red light as her light turned green. She realized and froze and froze, staring at the stopped red car. The car behind her finally beeped its horn because the light was green, and she looked back through the rearview mirror for a second before going, and a large truck blew the red light, his red light, and sped right past her. If she had gone, they were dead. Now, being me, where did I go wrong? Always something I have to figure out. But once the law was revived in my head, I realized that I should have had that right away. Trial and error, my friends. Trial and error. Right. Now, being me, where did I go wrong? Saving her life destroyed her destiny here, because in her soul agreement, she was supposed to die in this manner. Everything in her life led up to this event. And by telling her what was going to happen, I changed all that. And now she has to come back all over again to get her soul experience done. So in essence, she had the free will to go at that green light. In essence, she had the free will to go at that green light and complete her mission. And by interacting with me, that was all changed. She also could have done a conscious decision to hesitate, and that allowed by free will on her own, but I didn't give her that chance. I let her know everything right there, and since my reputation, she knew it. I guess it impressed upon her exactly the same way that I'm trying to do with all these videos I'm putting out. When it's time to remember, you'll remember my words. You'll remember what I said. Devron has promised me this. So this is another reason why I do this. So you see how karma and sin can happen even to the nicest souls. So the law basically says God gave us all the ability to see the future. You're just not allowed to help people with it. You have to help yourself. You have to do your work. And I've been preaching that too. Nobody's going to hand your soul over to heaven. You got to work for heaven. And if you got to work for hell, well, I guess that's what you're doing too. So when I remembered heaven's law, I stopped. That's why I don't answer personal questions. I can't. Now I'll let you in on another God-designed law of heaven as it pertains to creating karma or sin on earth. If you do something like tell someone the future and you didn't know, you were breaking heaven's law. Sin or karma doesn't apply to you at that point. But if you find out that it is breaking heaven's law and you continue to do it, disregarding the law, then you're screwed. It's like what I said about murder and going to hell. It's not the act of the murder that condemns you. It's the decision to commit the murder that puts your soul there. So that's why I don't answer personal questions anymore. I like my soul just as it is. But I hope these words and what information I put out helps enough to get you started. Dig in yourself and get things done in your own life. Don't worry. Heaven's going to be there for you. God and all. Devron's there for you. Devron's there for everyone. Now, let's take a look at some of these neat pics. I'm tired tonight. I don't know what it is. I think that inauguration drained me. I loved it. Oh, I loved it. I'm a patriot, folks. And a disabled veteran. Now, if this one, in 1900, there's my picture of Lucifer as Satan that I took, that everyone knows. And on the right, a person in 1909 in the Pied Barrens saw what he calls the Jersey Devil. And a police sketch artist at the time did this sketch by the eyewitness account. And look, the pointy head, the beard, the thing. He's got like a suit on. We can't see the axe in his back, but that's pretty damn close. So what people think the Jersey Devil is just another aspect of Lucifer doing its evil thing. Now, this one, oh, a ghost head. You can see I took a picture of it. It's under the bridge. You can see where the column starts. And I did an insert, an enhancement. You see the two eyes, the nose, the mouth. He's all pudgy. And it's just his head. He's just flying by, taking a look. And people don't see these pictures. Now this one you've seen, and I'm going to bring it back because I have a reason for it. Oh, right, okay. Now here is from the thing that made me famous around the world. Hold on, let's go back to that. We don't want that one. We want that one. Right. I told you, the UFOs are everywhere. They hide, they're super fast, and they look nothing unlike what you're being told. The real multiverse aliens. No alien from another planet in third dimension, an ET, has ever come here yet, and that's my last prediction in this life. In 2087, 50 years after Jesus straightens everything out, then they'll make contact and we'll be brought into that area. But if you look at this picture here, I did the insert and colored it so you can see, and if you look to the top right of the picture, you see it in the clouds, completely hiding and cloaked. I actually got a very good picture of it. Now here, I darkened it and all, so you can see it up in the cloud better. If you look to the top right on top, there it is. And you see these all the time. You've seen them your whole life. You just don't notice them. They're too fast and they blend in. Now I talked about how I'm part of the Montauk Project. if I am to toot my own horn, there is nobody else in the Montauk Project that's as powerful as I am. None of them. But there are some good people trying to get the information out. And Al Bielek was the gentleman that was on the USS Eldridge, the sailor, that fixed when the Eldridge disappeared and into the multiverse. He fixed the engine somehow and brought the ship back. But when he brought the ship back, there were sailors in the metal. Like, nobody just came back on the deck, and a lot of people didn't come back on the deck. They were, like, happen the metal, dead, and screaming and stuff. Al was okay, though. That's when he jumped overboard. But Al and I met, and we talked very earnestly together about both our involvements in the Montauk Project. And he used to call me his son. He liked me a lot, and he liked what I was able to do. It blew everything else that they were able to do away. But here in Orlando, when I was speaking at the Global Sciences Congress, Al was there, and he and I sat down and had breakfast, and Sandra took our picture, and because we're friends. I had his home number all the way. He died a couple years ago, you know. I mean, it happens. Now here is myself on the left, and Al Bielek. Now the funny thing is, this orb creature was coming around my hat as we were sitting there at that moment, and yeah, that's me and Al Bielek having breakfast. Now, you've seen it on TV a lot. I hope the people here have, about the ancient UFO that they found made out of stone. A carving made out of stone in ancient somewhere, I forget where it is, India, Mesopotamia, somewhere, of a UFO. And they called it a Vimana. It was the Indian people. They called it a Vimana. And they made statues and stuff of this Vimana that was seen thousands of years ago, and it became part of their culture. Well, at the Vortex one night, I'm walking towards the Vortex, and I can see the bridge, you know, coming up on me. It was still far away, but I mean, I could see it, you know, on the beginning of the trail. And I look next to the bridge, about 20 feet down in midair, and there's the Vimana. I recognized it right away. Solid UFO multiverse vehicle just floating there. And the light from the bridge, the lights that are on the side of the bridge, were glowing off of it. That's what illuminated it, so I could see it. And if you were on that bridge and you were driving and you looked directly to the right or left, you wouldn't see anything because it was down about 20, 30 feet on the side of it. And here it is. There's the picture. It's lit up, very bright. And there I put the picture, I inserted the Vimana, the ancient Indian Vimana. Right there, it's the same thing. The pointy front, the wings, the tail in the back, solid. I never got an answer on why that happened, except that's just another one of the unbelievable things that I've come across. Now, for this one, I'm just going to review the ancient god Set from Egypt. This is an untouched photo. It just rose out of the water, had orbs all around it. I looked at it and it said, I am Set, the water god of Egypt. And then I took his flash and he was destroyed at that point. His energy went back or did whatever. But this was pretty interesting to come face to face with, I've come face to face with many ancient gods, but this one from Egypt was cool because it was just cool. Sometimes I really have fun out there. Now, here's one that no one's ever seen. It's not my best, but if you look closely, you see the two eyes, the nose, the mouth and jawline, the big head that it's got, the two big eyes and nose in the front. It's just some kind of creature. He's going around and he's looking for something to eat, like a soul. But there he is, and it's by that magic tree again. The tree really worked out for me. I wonder if it's still there. Oh, I didn't even look when I went. Oh, jeez. Busy with the government. Okay, just for shits and giggles here, I don't think people nowadays know that I had in 1998 my own show on WOR radio in New York City. There I am with the tech people, and there I am sitting, and they did a show for a while. It was cool. It was cool. Now, I'm just going to finish with this and I don't do this that often, but I mean, this is what I do. I say it a lot. I say I'm going to go play pool. And somebody mentioned that in one of the responses, comments. And I just wanted to show you where I play pool and what I'm looking at as I'm talking to you right now. This room is rather large, and not only is it an office, it's just so fucking cool, especially for somebody my age, coming from the generation that I came from, that, you know, I just love it. I love being here. It really inspires me. And the fact that I own it. That really inspires me too. But what I did with my pool table, I played semi-pro pool from 1980 to 1984. When I got married, I stopped, and I was very good, and I still am. And so one of the things, I had more than enough room, is to put a pool table in, and then I decided to put my own twist on it, and I put lights in that I can change different colors. So my pool table is lit up, and I also have clear acrylic pool balls that really reflect the whole thing really nice, and I play like that a lot. Now here is what that looks like. This is about maybe 1/3 of the room that I'm sitting in talking to you in. And it's got all my toys and stuff, and there's my pool table, and there's the lights that go around it. And there's the hat that says, build a wall. So that's that's what that's about. So now, you know, so this guy plays pool, he does things, he's kind of normal. Yeah, I was. But in 1988, things started changing, and after I died on August 10th, 2022, was brought to heaven by Devron, told I was a golden soul, showed me his face, and it was made of wheat. As far as I know, the hand of God's face is made of wheat. I couldn't come up with that. If I was a con man in the business, and I know plenty of them, man, I could never have come up with something like that. So all this is true. All this is happening. Again, I hope everybody has an optimistic viewpoint of 2025. I will be talking about some really cool stuff in the upcoming weeks that I think you'll find interesting. Not just in Revelation, but how to get ahead right now when other people are walking around with their thumbs up their ass. You don't want to be walking around with your thumb up your ass. I want everybody to please stay prayed up. Oh, I'm still having that problem again. And peace out.